18 a.m. on the clock. It's Kong Yu with you on Traxx Momentum, and joined this hour actually by two ladies who will be sharing with me a little bit on what will be going down at the Green Market during the 8th Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival, which is happening on 16th to 18th of October at Publika. And it's an annual affair, of course. It is a film festival, but supporting that is also what is known as the Green Market, where up to, I believe it's like 76 over businesses and NGOs will be participating, promoting all sorts of green services and products, which is of course the theme of today right here on the show. Welcoming into the studio right now, two ladies, Yvonne actually, who is the founder of Cherry Bomb, as well as Sin Ai, who is the founder of D&M. Welcome ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. It's good to have you here today, and let's talk a little bit about the film festival and what's happening with the Green Market. Now, you are two of the booths which will be featured during the film festival, but maybe let's talk a little bit about what you individually do as your own companies, your own initiatives also, because it sounds very interesting. Who wants to start? Give me a choice.
We let Yvonne start first.
Yeah.
Sin Ai has volunteered Yvonne. Okay, no problem. Yvonne, tell us a bit about Cherry Bomb.
Okay, so Cherry Bomb is actually a local sustainable fashion label created by myself and my partner Ling. So we started Cherry Bomb as a weekend project out of passion for the fashion environment, but we decided to go full time, and then now we're participating in a lot of events that has to do with eco-friendly theme.
And it's interesting. Basically, you convert excess cloth or fabric or something, and you make it into basically fashionable items or wearables.
So these fabrics are leftovers from huge companies, so we salvage them and we create them into trendy fashion for women.
I see. How do you go about salvaging them? How do you do you approach people for the excess fabric, or is there a collection site that you get them from and all that?
Actually, these fabrics come from production factories.
Okay.
So they produce a lot of fabrics for big fashion houses every year, and there's always excess and waste and leftovers. And if we do not salvage them, these fabrics actually go into the landfills. So we buy them over at a a cheaper amount of price, and then we use them to make into wearable fashion.
Okay, interesting stuff. A little bit more details on how you do that, the process. A little bit from Sin Ai in the meantime, of course. Sin Ai, you're from D&M. What does that stand for? Is it two people or?
Basically, designs. D&M stands for design and management.
Okay.
So, because for myself, my background is from education. All right. I'm the head of programs for interior designs from INTI previously.
Okay.
And well, when I know Yasmin, we talk about NGOs, and then, we're bringing students to work together as a team to create some, the recycled furniture to exhibits down there for the past 2 years. So that will be revised it again for this year, and then that will be another exhibition shows for the students as well.
Okay.
So for myself, when we set up our companies, I'm an ID firm, so we are moving towards the designs and manufacturing as well. That is where D&M stand for too. So we are looking at the manufacturings from making a different type of awareness. Like for example, we start with a small workshop this year. That is a total of 3 workshops in there. One is called Green Craft. And the another ones that we have on our hand is green detergents. So it means that we are using teach the young kids how to manage the detergent bottles and transfer them with a very new icons. It can be a characters or even a little cars and with the plants on it. So this
with the used detergent bottles, containers, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, detergent bottles. So we have a series of collections of that, and then we will showcase during the green markets as well.
So it's interesting because you talk about having a sustainable business. You talk about having design or even marketing be sustainable, and that's what D&M basically overall stand for. But for the booth that you're having, or the workshop that you're having, it's specifically to do with sustainable arts.
Yep.
And also teaching arts and craft for children,
Yep.
specifically, isn't it?
Exactly.
On how to upcycle, how to create, how to be creative and make art from items.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit more about that detail, but definitely fascinating. Now, both Cherry Bomb and DNM will be having your booths at the Green Market at the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival. Once again, if you just join me, we're talking about the Green Market, which is happening in conjunction with the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival, taking place 16th to 18th of October 2015 at Publika. Yeah, two of many different booths. There's other things also that's going to be going on, right? Maybe you can share with us, both of you, what else will be taking place, or what are the other booths your colleagues and what they represent will be available at the film festival.
Right. I think there are going to be a lot of other booths that has to do with agriculture, and also about education in terms of awareness towards environment. Yeah.
Okay, and what have you seen from experience? This is going to be was it the third year in your participation?
Yep.
Okay. How has it been in the past couple of years, and also other types of booths and activities that we will be expecting for Green Market?
All right. Basically, sometimes they are looking at all those traditional herbs, that which they try to translate becomes our daily goods, and how they using all those upcycle thingies to make soaps. That which is, I think, one or two, booth that which is around there. And for those that which is awareness one, definitely they have some artworks, photography exhibitions for the past 2 years. So that we should drawing a different cults of understanding towards what is green on our land, our motherlands. Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be pretty fascinating. Up to 76 businesses and NGOs will be having their booths and their activities and promoting all sorts of green services and products at the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival. Yeah, I'm speaking to two guests, two ladies in the house today, Yvonne from Cherry Bomb as well as Hin Ai from DNM. More on the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival as well as the Green Markets to come, yeah? In the next segment of the interview, stay tuned. Meanwhile, a little bit of a music break right here for Pharrell Williams. Welcome back to Traxx Momentum, 11:29 a.m. on the clock. It's Kong Yu with you on the show, as always, bringing you the interview of the day and of the hour, of course, on the related issue of sustainability as well as the environment, and of course, special activities in relation to all those categories. Yeah. Today we're talking about the Green Market that's taking place alongside the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival, which is happening at Publika from 16 to 18 October. And yes, while the main draw of the film festivals are films, documentaries and movies and things like that, but there will be also up to 76 organizations, NGOs, businesses, etc., which will be participating in the Green Market. Yeah, so, and that happens throughout the whole entire festival, doesn't it? Yeah. 76 booths in that whole area. It's going to be a very, very merry and busy time for Publika, I think. Yeah. Of course, we've got two guests today. We've got Sin Ai from DNM as well as Yvonne from Cherry Bomb, who will be two of the participants at the festival, exhibiting their products, services, as well as sharing their basically information, knowledge and know-how when it comes to recycling, upcycling and other activities associated with basically non-wastage and basically ensuring sustainability for our future generations. Yeah, and that's actually basically how Yvonne got started with Cherry Bomb. And you were saying, Yvonne, that you and your partner, previously you held your other jobs as well.
Yeah.
What was it and what lines were they in?
All right. So my partner is a fashion designer. So she's always been doing fashion. And I was a graphic designer. I worked in a branding agency for 3 years before I started doing Cherry Bomb. Yeah. Nice.
And then you along the way you've always been interested in not wasting and recycling. Was it specifically recycling of fabric, or what was it that triggered the two of you to decide, okay, you know what, we've done enough of our normal jobs? But of course, for your partners, fashion, so that's sort of still the same, isn't it? But for you, from graphic designing to this.
Yeah, so we've known each other for more than 10 years. We were best friends in high school.
Right.
So we share the same vision, that is to create our own fashion clothing label. But we know that we're aware of the consequences of our on how fashion is towards the environment. And because of that, we thought like if we were really to go to create our own fashion clothing label, we have to do it sustainably. We have to do it with in an ethical way. So that's why we wanted to start Cherry Bomb.
Nice stuff, yeah. And essentially, if you missed the first segment, Yvonne was telling us about their modus operandi. The main way they work is basically they use excess fabric that comes from production of other things, isn't it?
Like big companies such as Nike, Adidas,
etc.
So all these fabrics actually are produced for them, but there are always waste. There's always leftovers, and in a very limited amount. So they don't really know what to do with it, this factory. So they usually throw it away. But we thought these fabrics are so, it shouldn't end up in a landfill.
That's
so
right.
we actually collect them and make them into wearable fashion.
Good stuff. Yeah, so applaud you on what you were doing on that. A little bit, of course, on my second guess, which is in ID&M, and you were basically telling us, you're an ID company, and the issue of sustainability and designing in a way that is protective and how shall we say, aware of the impacts on the environment. Where did that come in? At what point in your life did that set in?
Right, because that when we always do the interior designs, a lot of like clients that tell us that we want something green, but when they mention about greens, they are looking at all the plants that which they are not really looking at. Am I using the cotton fabrics that which is environmental fabrics, or those equipments that we are looking at? What is about the wastage? Because that in interior designs, when we do all the constructions of wood, all those that are chopping out, all the wastage that which is in a very high volumes. So therefore, we are creating up a D&M's retail that which is stand for RE. That one group of my friends that which is from graphic design background, artists. We are working on the reproductions by using all the wastage. Like the paper craft, or even the paper jewelries, or this wastage of the wood chips that we can make it and productions for the jewelry.
Okay.
So in all those that we are selling all these goods that in the green markets, we are selling our concepts to the societies. So we are trying to bring in the green workshop for the young kids, tell them how would they contribute back to their home beauty in producing the upcoming Christmas, that which they were doing green snowmans in the workshops, and then we have green snowman.
Okay, but we have no snow.
So that's why we are teaching them using the shocks, with all those wastage of the buttons from the old cloth.
Got it.
So they can use that to production it.
How has it been? I mean, it's in the case of Cherry Bomb, it's pretty straightforward. You're using basically this so-called leftover fabric from all the big companies that have this major global retail reach, and there's a lot of wastage coming from that excess fabric, etc., and then you convert them into fashion. For you, it's excess, how shall we say, materials that you use for ID. You're using wood, cloth, fabric as well. Do you collect it into one place and then you and your friends basically see how to use them, or how does the creative process work? Let's start with you, Sin.
All right, I have my own furniture factory that which they are mass producing that the furnitures, that custom made furnitures. So for the clients, so usually is that I would tell my boys that all the woods, the chips, whatever that you have, just put it on the sides and see, and what we can do. So then I will snap photographs to my friends that what you need. You need this one. What can you have the inspirations for the waste wood? Because sometimes that when you cut, it may out of the forms that what usually is that we plan for square, rectangulars, or anything.
Right.
So they will have to take that as a part, as an inspiration to start with.
Nice.
So that is how we handle. Yeah, that's
a pretty interesting way of being creative, also, isn't it? Looking at what you have and see what you can do with it. And basically, with all this, you have channeled the excess materials. Let's not use waste, because it's not really waste. Excess materials from all your other businesses in design and marketing, in ID essentially, and in furniture design, like you said. And you've all these leftovers that you then use to create arts, crafts, as well as even wearables, and jewelry as well.
Yeah, even those we are creating the installations art for one of the cafes in Penang is called Armenian Gallery.
Okay.
So we are putting up, we are going to design and finishing very soon on their artist suits. So their artist suits, we were using all those so-called upcycle material.
Okay.
Yes, to be putting on, we're collecting all the spoiled bicycles that we are going to do the installation arts for them very soon in the markets.
Basically, make the decorate up with recycle or upcycle materials, even like old bicycles and things like that.
Old bicycles.
Interesting, yeah. And you do see a little bit of that trend in some spots like Penang, like you said, Kuala Lumpur, of course, Petang Jaya, all these main areas. You start to see more of this coming back. As well as how do you do refurbishing of furniture that happens? It's been happening for quite a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that part of your business as well?
Yes, because that especially for this cafe, My Armenians Cafe, which is under Armenian Gallery. So we are because that the owners, they don't really have a big budget, so we are collecting all the pallets, from the factories that they transport all the woods to my production room. So we're cutting off, we're collecting all the bottles, the waste bottles, the beer bottles, and then we try to refurbish it again and to become a part of the furniture for it.
Wow, beer bottles, drink bottles in general.
Drink bottles, yeah.
Interesting. It's like a little piece. It's an art.
Yep.
Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what my intentions of it is I'm still teaching in one or two of the colleges.
Right.
So where my students were going to participate, especially in T students, in these programs for these KLEFF. So they were going to showcase their upcycle furnitures in the exhibitions ground as well.
Okay. And when you teach ID specifically, or you lecture as an ID? In ID or in other related subjects also? I'm
teaching ID and I'm doing the furniture designs as well.
Nice.
So because that which is from my background, so shared with the students, sometimes the trolley, like last year's we have what we call a trolley couple chair. Okay. Which is you have two pieces of trolley.
Okay.
That which sometimes you see at Giants, or Tesco's, or whichever, the hypermarkets, those that which is spoiled. So they just dump it on the sides and wait for the collections. So our students, which is moving around to the town and look for all these furnitures and see what they can produce. So they try to use all the waste jeans, to create the seatings area, the seatings sofa.
Okay, so it's like almost like, if I could help you explain a little bit as well, they've got a little bit of a frame of a chair, for example, left over, but it's tattered and the fabric area, the seat area is gone, for example.
Correct.
So then they just replace it with something that they can find.
It sort of rejuvenates. Yeah.
Nice stuff, yeah. And of course, Sinai and her students will be showcasing their upcycled furniture, as well as also arts and crafts targeted at children in a series of workshops that will be happening at the Green Market at the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival. You got to find out how you can sign up for these workshops in the last segment of the program. Meanwhile, just a little bit more before we go for our next song break. Also speaking with Yvonne from Cherry Bomb, essentially an organization that creates fashion in clothing and also wearables in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just clothing.
Clothing, basically. Two very entrepreneurial and how shall we say, caring for the environment individuals. Came out of the idea of Cherry Bomb. How do you go about doing it? Because basically you also, in a way, rely on this excess fabric that you have from manufacturing. Are you also inspired by the fabric? Or is it more you do have quite a free hand in basically overall fashion designing?
Yeah. So basically our designs, the brand itself, Cherry Bomb, is very influenced by our upbringing, me and my partner. So we watch a lot of TVs, movies. We're very into pop culture.
Okay.
So all these things influence us, and a lot of our pieces and products are actually named after movies or song titles. Yeah. So that's
such as movies or song titles. Like, give me a couple of examples.
Well, the name Cherry Bomb is actually a song title.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And Little Miss Sunshine, one of our dresses.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have the Beetlejuice jumpsuit.
Oh, okay, cute.
So
yeah.
a lot of these things are actually just things that closely related to us when growing up. Yeah.
Nice. So you go along those ways. You go along the ways. Are you? Have you found a direct inspiration from the process itself of using this recycled fabric?
Yeah. So because of the limitations of sustainable materials out there, we find it very challenging for us to actually try to adapt our designs to whatever materials we can get in the market. So for now, because of our budget, we only have enough money to use leftover materials because they are not costly.
Okay.
So these materials are actually very limited in quantity. So we have to think about how to make them in such a way that it saves the fabric and also it looks good at the same time. Yep. And also we are looking into more sustainable materials in the future that we can get our hands on, such as organic cotton, tencel, hemp. Yeah.
Okay. Is this the first time you're meeting Sin Ai, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go. You could probably source some from your the furniture side of things and even the ID areas. I don't know whether it's convenient to convert them to wearables and clothing, but certainly some ideas there, yeah? Meanwhile, of course, we are going to take a break, and on return, find out more about how you can be part of the workshops and activities happening at the Green Market of the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival. Stay tuned and keep it locked right here on Traxx. Fifth Harmony, right here on Traxx Momentum. Welcome to the final segment of today's interview. I've been speaking with Yvonne from Cherry Bomb as well as Sin Ai from D&M, all about their participation in the Green Market section of the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival, where it's a showcase of green products and services in support of the festival, which is happening on the 16th to 18th of October at Publika. It's interesting, as we go on with the interview and I'm finding a little bit more about how you work and your backgrounds, ladies, and it's fascinating, the possible tie-ups, and I guess that's what an occasion like this film festival enables you to do, isn't it? It brings together so many different NGOs, businesses which have the same concern, or at least forming a large part of how you operate, which is no wastage or upcycling, recycling, depending on which area of your activities, isn't it? And it's fascinating as well to me because of your experience. Like Yvonne is a very, I would say, and assume, I think it would be pretty correctly, very young in age. And she's into fashion, and she's a graphic designer, and she's teamed up with her partner who is a fashion designer himself or herself, right? And they have this initiative where basically they reuse or they use a leftover fabric in the way they do their business and design their clothing. And then on the other hand, we've got Sin Ai, who is an experienced lecturer, as very experienced in the field of ID and furniture making, etc. And you were telling me over the break, 15 years that you've been lecturing. And you're seeing a difference in the way people approach
and the changes
ID and furniture design, isn't it? There used to be no or very little concern about what happens with wastage, leftover materials, but you're seeing that it's been changing over the course of the past 10 or 15 years.
Exactly.
Great, so and this is where like possible tie-ups even between Sin Ai and Yvonne after this or during from now on up to the film festival itself. Now I just want to ask you, what do you hope to achieve? I know we've discussed quite a lot of it. Specifically, what you want the public to come, of course, to have a look at what you have basically designed and made and created under these really interesting conditions. What else did you hope that the people who will be visiting the film festival will get out of visiting your booth and also the other booths?
So we would like to kind of create more awareness and education about how detrimental fashion industry is actually to the environment.
While we are, we don't have too much time on that, how detrimental is it? We talk about people using fur, we talk about a lot of couture, whatever you pronounce it. Costs a lot of money, and I don't know what they use for the fabric and all that. Right.
So not many people know that actually fashion industry is the second most polluting industry in the world.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Okay,
and second after? What's the first?
Oil and gas.
Okay, and that makes sense. That one, we're like, oil and gas spillage and all that, even though we still need fuel, that's super important. I didn't know that about fashion.
So for example, this pair of jeans you're wearing, right? So it took 7,000 liters of water just to make one pair of jeans.
Right.
So if you imagine all the pair of jeans that are made in this world,
And that's with the washing and the dyeing process and all that.
the whole process.
Okay.
So this amount of water that's being used is actually unsustainable. So our environment resource is actually being used at very unsustainable rate, and we cannot keep up with the demand of fast fashion because it keeps coming and it keeps coming.
Right, and people keep having to change the clothes because they get worn out.
Yes,
I mean, in the
exactly.
very least, we're talking about fashionistas who wear and then they keep it in the closet and then that's about it. We're talking about just using, like, jeans, for example, is a good example.
Yeah.
Because people generally don't buy many pairs of jeans. They wear it until it's torn and tattered and then probably move on to the next pair. That's how I do it anyway. But it's also fascinating on the other side of things that it takes up it wastes or uses 7,000 liters of water. So you don't wear jeans, I take it.
I do actually.
do?
I do wear jeans. Yes, I'm just like anyone else.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, all right.
But
just being realistic as well.
yeah. But because of and also all the chemicals that go into making the jeans. So,
Right.
for example, if you have dyes, chemicals, and it's very detrimental to the environment because when it is not treated properly in the landfill, all these chemicals actually become greenhouse gases in the future, and it will contribute to climate change.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just one simple but very important example. What about you, Sin? Where do you think most? Do you think people are still really wasting in terms of, let's say, furniture design? Is there still a lot of wastage going on there?
Yeah, because that majorities of them, like we are looking for a new trend, and then everybody's I'm having a new house, I'm going for a new furniture because everything must be new, because this is the trend that which is moving new thing for a new start.
Right.
So while when we think about new things for a new start, why not we rejuvenate it? Because if we rejuvenate it through different types of fabrics, changing the cushions, putting up and repainted it, well, it's still new.
It still looks new, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
it still looks new.
Yeah,
It's just that you need to look for a right channels to help you to rejuvenate it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so difficult sometimes when you think about where to. I mean, even if you're not thinking about recycling in general or upcycling or reusing materials, it's like where to throw things is always a question mark, isn't it?
Yep, yeah.
And it feels so bad. I mean, let's say you have a leftover bed frame. Like I've got one sitting at home now, right, from an ex-housemate who didn't bring it with her when she moved out. So like, okay, where do I throw it? And you don't want to just throw it anywhere because it seems like such a waste of the wood,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It can be broken up and used for different things.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you tell us about how to and what kind of workshops that you and your students will be offering at the Green Market?
Okay, me and my teams, we were running 3 workshops. One of it is called Green Craft, which is Roll a L, that we are using all the kitchens, towers, and all those, the cylinders, towers, that which you can be used. And the another ones, please bring along your shocks that you can work with the green snowman, that we are doing a green Christmas for this year.
I like that. Green snowman, green Christmas. It doesn't involve real snow. I'm assuming.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, suitable for Malaysia.
Yep. So the last one, it will be the green detergents, or we call it as a detergent gardens. So you may bring your detergent bottles, either is whichever brand it is, come with the colors, if it's not, then just bring along with some Sharpies, then we can make a touch up.
You're going to convert the bottles into like art stuff, basically, yeah?
Yep,
Nice.
we were going to convert it and to become new pots designs or the new features or little animals or transports inside your gardens.
Fun for the kids.
For your kids, yeah.
Okay,
for the
so
kids.
do the people have to register and sign up? Can they sign up already?
Yep, they are allowed to sign up on the ecofilmfest.my/attractions/forum workshops-talks.
Okay, I guess the best way is to go to www.ecofilmfest.my and then go from there.
Yeah.
Search and have a quick look at what the whole film festival is about. Yasmin Rashid, of course, the head of Eco Nights and the Malaysian Environmental NGOs group, and her team are busy preparing for it anyway, isn't it? So it's good to find out more in general about the information. What about Cherry Bomb? Are you guys offering any simple workshops?
Yeah, so we thought about doing a tie-dye hate scarf workshop.
Nice.
So tie-dye is actually a very old technique on, using natural dyes to make wearable fashion. So we are going to be providing the natural dyes and scarves so that people can make them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's happening as part of the Kuala Lumpur Eagle Film Festival, 16th to 18th October 2015. All the best. Any last parting information to share with our listeners?
I think it's that we hope to see them there.
Yeah, definitely hope to see you there.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies. Next we get Yvonne from Cherry Bomb. And as well as Sinai from D&M right here on Traxx Momentum's Interview of the Hour. Do check the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival out. That's happening 16 to 18 October at Publika. Once again, for more information on the Film Fest as well as the supporting green market, an array of services and products, of course, from the green angle that will be held in conjunction with the Film Fest. Do check out www.ecofilmfest.my for more information. Meanwhile, Kong Yu wrapping up the hour, fast heading into 12, when Ruben will bring us some quick news updates. After that, I'll be with you for the second 2 hours of Traxx Momentum. Stay tuned.